gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jenquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jenquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pop.
Y'all get me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take over
What
your
more
store.
do you want from me?
The family of a Houston attorney have identified him as the man shot and killed while trying to stop a fight at a West Houston McDonald's. This happened Saturday afternoon at the Katy Freeway and Chimney Rock store. Police say that the customer was arguing because he wanted a refund for his order. That is when Jeffrey Limmer stepped in to try and calm the man down. The two went outside. Police say that Limmer pushed the customer down, who then shot Limmer. We're told Limmer was an associate at the Louis Brisbois law firm. Police say that the killer fled in an early 2000s blue Ford pickup. If you know anything, call police.
Tonight, we're learning about the attorney who was shot and killed while trying to calm down an angry customer at McDonald's. It happened this weekend at the restaurant off Katy Freeway in Chimney Rock. Tonight, his sister is only talking with us here at ABC 13, and our Brooke Taylor is live outside the McDonald's with their conversation. Brooke?
Chico. So, guys, we have to talk about this. This is actually a follow-up video. I made a video about this before. Jeffrey Limmer, the Houston attorney who was shot and killed at the McDonald's after a scuffle with a disgruntled customer. And the crazy thing is, when the story was first reported, there was no description of the suspect. If you guys don't believe me, go back and check it out. The only description was a man in a early 2000s blue pickup truck, Ford pickup truck. And even many outlets were not even reporting on the description of the vehicle. That's how little information we got. And we know that the police and any investigators or prosecutors, whatnot, had the information about this individual, because McDonald's have cameras everywhere, inside, outside. So we knew they saw the video. We knew they got a license plate. We knew they knew the identity, but it was being withheld. And finally, now, I think as I'm reporting on this, it is May 10th, and it was revealed actually May 9th. The suspect description, as of now, we do have a suspect, but this guy is in the wind. The police can't find him. They don't know where he is, apparently, and he hasn't been arrested yet. So now he is armed and dangerous, and he is a threat to the community. And if the police would have just said something and let us know who this guy was immediately when it happened. As soon as they knew, then we could have been on guard and we could say, okay, that's the ninja in the blue pickup truck who shot that white guy at the McDonald's, who shot that attorney at the McDonald's. We could have found the guy way sooner, but because of the woke agenda, the politics, and all that kind of stuff, they're not giving descriptions anymore. And when they don't give a description, we know that it is most likely, a person from the Black and brown community, right? Or the Comunitino. That's pretty much what it is most of the time if they don't give us a description. So it's unfortunate that we've gotten to this point, but now this guy's in the wind. He's a repeat offender. He's a guy who was recently let out on bail for a previous violent crime. So we're going to get into those details right after we hear from Jeffrey Limmer's sister.
Police tell me that the shooter was inside of this McDonald's. He was angry with employees, demanding a refund because something was wrong with his order. A witness tried stepping in, the victim there, trying to calm things down. Eventually, detectives say the both of them were outside. There was a heated argument, and that's when the customer went in his car. He grabbed his gun, shot him, and drove off. A flag flown at half-staff outside of the McDonald's where local attorney Jeff Limmer lost his life.
He loved fiercely. He loved his family and his friends, always laughing, always making jokes, and just loving life.
His sister tells Only 13 she was at her daughter's graduation with her parents when they got the devastating news.
He had gone over there. I guess he goes over there frequently. He lives pretty close by, and just went over there to maybe get some work done. And this situation happened where this guy was so displeased with his order that he just threw a fit.
According to detectives, Limmer was at the McDonald's off of I-10 near Chimney Rock Road when he was trying to calm down an angry customer, upset with employees about his order. Limmer is an associate at a local law firm, and his sister says he spent his career trying to help others. So it didn't come as a surprise when detectives told them that's what he was doing in his final moments.
Wow. Knowing Jeff, I mean, he's the one that's gonna he's always the one that's like, calm down, it's not that big of a deal. And just, I guess, try to just divert the situation.
And obviously he was trying to de-escalate the situation. There were reports that in the argument turned scuffle outside, Jeff did push the man down, and that's why he was so upset, went to his car and got his firearm. So and this just is another example of how these gun laws are not really effective, because obviously this guy was a convicted felon and he still was in possession of a firearm, which is a felony in and of itself.
He's always just wanted to fight for the little guy and do the right thing. And he was very staunch in his convictions and was just conservative in his values and his morals.
Police are searching for the killer, who they say drove off in an early 2000s blue Ford pickup. As Limmer's family awaits justice, his sister says they're proud that he stood up for what he believed was right.
A good Samaritan who was trying to do the right thing, and just.
So as you guys can see, the suspect was identified, and this is Anthony Martin Landry, the man who shot Jeffrey Limmer. And this guy is a repeat offender, an OG super gremlin on demon time. I mean, it doesn't get any worse than this. It's unfortunate that we actually have to report on something like this, but this is another interracial crime, and this really irks people because, one, the police and the prosecutors could have prevented this, right? Now, I know it's kind of out of the police's hands once they get in that courtroom, but The prosecutors, the district attorneys, they could have prevented it, but we have these woke leftist DAs who are not giving the people the punishment that they deserve. And you have guys like this slipping through the cracks every single day and then going out and hurting somebody. So a man is now wanted after being charged with murder following a deadly shooting at a McDonald's off the Katy Freeway last week. The shooting took place at 8147 Katy Freeway, West Interstate Highway 10, Service Road, about 6 p.m. on May 4th, according to the Houston Police Department. Police have identified the suspect as 57-year-old Anthony Martin Landry. Officers with HPD said they responded to the shooting and found an unknown man unresponsive with multiple gunshot wounds. Houston Fire Department paramedics responded to the scene and pronounced the man later identified as Jeffrey Limmer, 46, dead. The suspect fled the scene in an early 2000s blue Ford pickup truck. Police at the scene said the suspect, now identified as Landry, was dissatisfied with his order, wanted a refund, and was arguing with the staff. Limmer reportedly tried to calm down the irate customer, but instead the customer turned his attention towards him. The argument led both men outside, and police said Limmer pushed the angry customer to the ground. After that, investigators say the suspect grabbed a gun from his car and shot Limmer twice before driving away from the scene. Limmer was an attorney for Lewis Brisbois law firm. Landry remains on the run. The Limmer family released a statement after the suspect was identified. Our family is relieved to learn that the suspect has been identified, and we pray that he is apprehended as soon as possible so that he cannot hurt anyone else. Additionally, we are praying for the safety of law enforcement as they work to bring him to justice. We are grateful to the community for your overwhelming love and support, and we ask that you respect our privacy as we mourn the loss of our dear Jeff. So, what do we know about this? We know that when this initially happened, there were no description of the suspect. They just now recently identified the suspect on May 9th, as I reported earlier. So what's another conclusion we can make? We can make the conclusion that if they would have identified the suspect earlier, which they did know the suspect's identity way earlier, and release the surveillance footage or whatnot, or something, a still picture of this guy identifying him, and giving a brief literary description, written description of this guy, then somebody could have spotted him on his way home on the freeway, somewhere maybe out in public. And they could have spotted him and said, hey, isn't that the guy the police are looking for? So the fact that he is on the run right now is the fault of the police or whoever makes the decision to releasing that suspect's identity. They didn't have to wait this long. They chose to because, for one, I think to hide the flaws of the justice system that recently, allowed this man to be let out of prison. And then for two, because they wanted to be politically correct and they didn't want to seem racist. So I'm going to read you guys a New York Post article because they have more details about his prior history, criminal history. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time. All right, guys. Newly freed ex-con on the run after he's charged with killing attorney Jeffrey Limmer over McDonald's order. So once this video loads, I'll actually play the Fox video as well. But in the meantime, the irate customer who allegedly killed a Houston attorney after he became upset over his McDonald's order was identified as 57-year-old with a lengthy rap sheet. Anthony Martin Landry, who remained on the loose Thursday, faces a murder charge in connection to personal injury Jeffrey Limmer's death inside the fast food joint around 6 p.m. May 4th, the Houston Police Department announced. Landry had demanded a refund from the workers at the McDonald's on Houston West Interstate Highway 10 service before Limmer intervened. So let's get into the Fox News report.
Now let's get to one of the most clicked on stories at fox26houston.com. A Houston McDonald shooting that we've been following here since the beginning of the week. The shooting death of an attorney that tried to break up this altercation taking place. And today, Houston police identified that suspect. Let's get in some more details here with Fox 26's Jade Fleury, who heard from police with some more details here today. Jade.
Go.
Well, you guys, the suspect is still on the run. Police say Landry shot and killed Jeffrey Limmer here at the McDonald's off of the Katy Freeway. This is after Landry got upset over the wrong order and Limmer intervened. Investigators say 57-year-old Anthony Landry was arguing with workers at McDonald's Saturday evening. That's when 46-year-old Jeffrey Limmer stepped in and tried to de-escalate the situation. But Houston police say Landry went to his car, pulled out a gun, and shot and killed Limmer before taking off in a blue Ford pickup. Now, keep in mind, Landry does have a lengthy criminal record. Earlier this year, he was arrested for aggravated assault of a family member and got out on bond. He also has past offenses for forgery of government financial instruments, evading detention, and possession of cocaine. Now, Fox 26 spoke to Jeff Limmer's family, and they...
Wow. So you see the priors, aggravated assault of a family member in 2024 in February, which he should have been locked up for. And in 97, forgery of government financial instruments. And then you see in 97, evading arrest or detention. And then they said something about crack cocaine. So, I mean, this guy knows his way around a prison cell.
Also has past offenses for forgery of government financial instruments, evading detention, and possession of cocaine. Now, Fox 26 spoke to Jeff Limmer's family, and they tell us he was a shining soul who loved joking around, being outdoors, and listening to live music. They called Limmer a no-nonsense guy, so it wasn't surprising when he stepped in to stand up for those workers at McDonald's. The McDonald's.
And I mean, if you are going to step in, this is why a lot of people are just walking away from situations like this, even if it gets violent and vulnerable people are at risk. Because either they lose their life or they lose their freedoms. If you are going to step in, for one, you better be willing to take a big, hefty charge if you have to use lethal force against one of these super gremlins. And a lot of people just aren't willing to do that. They're not willing to go against this corrupt court system. And you know, if a situation doesn't pertain to them, but that just is a testament to the bravery and like they said, the no-nonsense guy Jeffrey Limmer was, and he stood up to this irate, elderly, super OG gremlin on demon time. And unfortunately, it cost him another kind of violence.
So it is what it is.
What's good, shout around? It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Man, so we have to talk about this one. This joint is crazy. It's absolutely insane. And I think that we have to go in full depth with this video to really see how it is being covered on all mainstream platforms, or, you know, maybe the lack thereof of coverage, which, I mean, this one's getting pretty, it's making waves. It's making its rounds, but obviously it's not going to be something that sticks, in my opinion. We're not going to get many updates on this one. The Shade Room or, you know, some of these blogs are not going to be posting them. It's just, it's not going to get back to the community, right? It's not going to go where it needs to go, because these are the stories that need to go to the community, because the community just, I mean, from my observation, they just don't believe that these types of things are happening. They don't believe that there is a heavy anti-white sentiment, not only in America, but amongst the community. And that is where it really has stemmed from, right? That's where the enforcement is coming from. Not only in real life, but online as well. So I think that it obviously it has gone way too far. But I also believe that, there's just not enough people talking about it. So there's no real acknowledgement coming from the community. And you guys know I always speak on group acknowledgement, group accountability. In order to be held accountable, you have to acknowledge that this is something that is real. It's something that exists, and it's something that is permeating throughout the culture of the Black community. And you might even get people trying to justify what's going on in these situations. Shout out to West Howard Street. He says, hello, where is everyone? Brother, you should probably know by now I'm severely shadow banned. It is what it is. They demonetized me again. We got the super trap, then we lost it, then we got it, and then we lost it again. So at this point, I'm just doing this for sport, honestly. They can't take me completely down because I never violate TOS. I never do. But they can silence me. So that's pretty much what's going down right now, guys. Being severely shadow banned, being severely censored. And yeah, it takes a toll. It definitely takes a toll, at least on YouTube and on X. Man, I got to talk about the X thing. And I do want to get into the story, but I do have to update you guys on what's going on in my personal social media life. So I was permanently banned on X on my Reclaim Your Throne channel. I did try and go around the banning, and I tried to create backup pages. I even converted a page that I had since my sophomore year, since I was 15 years old. I tried to convert that to Reclaim Your Throne, and I fucked up. I named the account Reclaim D1, which was a dope name. I thought about. When did I think about it? Oh, I was like downtown walking my dog, and I thought about this. And I was like, okay, they got Reclaim Your Throne, they got Reclaim Your X, they got everything. What can I really do? Oh, Reclaim D1. So I was like, oh shit, that's fire as fuck. So I named it Reclaim Your D1, and then I named the name Reclaim D1. So the @ was Reclaim D1, and then the name was Reclaim D1. And then I had a tweet that went super viral. It was talking about Caitlin Clark and the jealousy toward Caitlin Clark, which is another piece of the anti-white hate that we're seeing going on right now. And I had a tweet basically saying how Black women in the WNBA, the dyking Black women in the WNBA, were jealous of Caitlin Clark, and it was solely based off her race and all this kind of stuff. And the tweet goes viral, a million views, all this stuff. And I fucked around and changed my name back to Reclaim Your Throne because I wanted people to know, this was Reclaim Your Throne in the event that this went viral, and maybe some people from my old channel would say, oh shit, Reclaim's back, And I fucked up. I shouldn't have changed the name. I think if I would have never changed the name, it would have been straight. But I named it Reclaim D1. I had a dope profile pic. It was one of my pictures that I took in Miami, and I'm like flexing and I'm looking good with the 8-pack and stuff like that. And the account was taken down. It was perma suspended, which it's just like Elon Musk talks about, oh, free speech, whatever. But I think he spent like the first 4 weeks in, at Twitter, and then he just, walked off. She said, good. No one is jealous of manly looking Caitlin Clark. Okay. You may not be jealous of her looks, but you're definitely jealous of her game. And it may not be you personally, but it's definitely the WNBA, as you can see. This is not a Caitlin Clark channel, but it was something that I pointed out. The tweet went viral, and it was crazy. But, it was fun while it lasted. It is what it is. Black Gen Z mindset, I think, will rise from the ashes, of course, especially on X, because I don't really do anything. I just post news stories on Black Gen Z mindset on X. But I don't know. I might have to go to San Francisco and talk to some Twitter people and be like, hey, bro, You know what I'm saying? Why is my account banned? Da 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 da. Might have to do a sit-in, you know what I'm saying? Them old school protests, man. I might have to do a sit-in at the Twitter headquarters. So we'll see. I'll think about it. I need to go out to Cali anyway this summer. So, you know, we'll figure it out. But guys, y'all already know what you want to do. If you want to support the channel, go to the Patreon, subscribe to my YouTube. Johnny Reb reminded me of locals. I do have a locals, but I don't post on it. And I don't know why, but I can't synchronize my locals to my YouTube channel. Well, I may be able to, but I haven't been able to yet. And I want all of my old uploads to get on the locals because I might just transition everything to locals. But, you know, most people don't really use locals and it's not a thing. And most of my stuff is on Rumble anyway. But as far as like paywall conversion, that's really the only thing that I can do in order to continue to operate, unless like my exes just started to go crazy, and then I can do something there where I can take those funds and reinvest to the channel. But I mean, ever since I got demonetized, I haven't been able to reinvest. So it's all been sweat equity in this mug. But we're building something. We're building something. We're building something solid here. And that is what needs to be acknowledged. Yeah, we have to talk about this crazy story coming out of Ohio. Okay, North Olmsted, Ohio. There is a crazy, angry, fat, overweight, however you want to call it, Black woman, Bionca Ellis, who essentially murders a 3-year-old white toddler. Now, this headline is, I mean, it's crazy because it's literally what happened. It's literally what happened. And I don't know the motives of this, obviously, but I mean, let's keep it a buck. Are we not just going to attack the elephant in the room and say, hey, I mean, there's a lot of jealousy coming from the community toward the white community. Okay, all in all, and it's men, it's women, but there is a lot of jealousy. And of course, they say, oh well, I hate myself, right? No, but obviously I don't. If I'm trying to chastise bad behavior, what would be an indication that I hated myself is if I didn't take care of myself, if I became obese, if I didn't, moisturize my skin, if I didn't exercise and try and become the best version of myself, if I just, acted like a sloth and maybe I was even cutting myself or doing some crazy shit like that, then that'd be an indication, okay, this person really does hate themselves. But I find it funny that, when you start to call out bad behavior in the community, you hate yourself. No, I'm calling out behavior of another individual. If I was a self-deprecating person and talking shit about myself, then that'd be an indication that you hate yourself. But it's like the logic is just not there. And then when you try and explain it, they just can't fathom. They literally cannot understand it. It's insane. Like seeing it in real time. Like, oh, there's another example. I was in Atlanta because you guys know I used to stay in Midtown. I got the hell up on out of that shithole. Niggas coming into your goddamn parking deck and robbing you and breaking into your car and all this kind of shit. I mean, it happened every single day. Every single day you'll go there and somebody in a new person's car window is broken. So I had to get up out of there. And my car got hit too. Y'all know that. But we were just we were partying and stuff like that because I had a friend group out there and we were doing the overdose podcast, as you guys may have seen me feature on in the past. If not, you should really go look those up. I was spitting straight bars on that mug. But we were there was a group of Black and Hispanic women, and they was just talking mad shit about white people, and I'm like, dude, don't you understand? Like, oh, white people so racist, and then they were saying some other like derogatory shit, mean shit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with acknowledging generalities, but when you're just getting too grimy, I had to step in like a referee and say, hey, all right, y'all are wilding now. Don't you understand that you are being the bigots that you accuse them of being? And they're like, what you mean? Black people can't be racist. And then I was just, okay, now I have to withdraw myself from the situation because you're just dumb. That's really what it comes down to. So, like I said, there's a lot of anti-white hate coming out of the Black community, especially in 2024. You hate to see it, and this is how it materializes. Okay, it materializes and manifests. You know, bitches love talking about manifestation. No, well, this shit, it manifests in the real life, and it manifests into violent crime. So let's watch this video.
Breaking news: we have just confirmed the 3-year-old stabbed outside a local grocery store has died. The boy and his mother were attacked outside the North Olmsted Giant Eagle yesterday afternoon. 32-year-old Bionca Ellis was taken into custody following the incident. North Olmsted's mayor released a statement yesterday calling this a random act of violence.
So they're calling it a random act of violence. In my opinion, it doesn't seem random. It seems targeted. This is, this to me is just like she sees this white lady with her white child, and she's envious that she has a family, intact family, and all this kind of stuff. It's so many things on top. It's layers on top of layers on top of layers. And she attacks her for no reason. Okay. So we're gonna break this down because there's so many details that are being unaddressed and left out in this story. So we're gonna get a general rundown of the players in this story. And obviously, this is a real story. This is true crime, okay? True crime. I see a lot of other true crime channels who, you know, they're, you know, it's hoes doing mukbangs and fucking makeup videos, and they don't get censored, and they're covering true crime, but they're covering the safe shit. They're covering, oh, my favorite serial killers of the 70s, and oh, my like that fucking, oh my God. I already told you guys, I'm completely... I'm just like over it. I'm not censoring myself anymore, but it's just like the shit that gets popular is just mind-numbing shit. It's not really addressing the real issues of today, and it's so annoying. And I know it's algorithmic. And it's completely controlled by these social media oligarchs, i.e. Alphabet in this case, the owners of Google, who are the owners of YouTube. But it's top down. It's on all social media platforms, even X. You know, a lot of people talk about X. Like even X is censorship. It's censorship, bro. How do you get banned off of a platform that's supposed to be free speech if you're not inciting violence? That should be the only thing. Or doxing somebody or something like that. But I did none of those things. Did none of them. So let's go.
Tragic update to bring to you at this afternoon hour. The medical examiner now confirming that 3-year-old Julian Wood has died of his injuries after he and his mother were stabbed right here at this Giant Eagle parking lot. We're working to get additional information about how his mom is doing, but we know that there is now a suspect in custody. But perhaps the biggest question is, well, why? What was the motivation behind this attack?
I can tell you. And if you guys are looking at the thumbnail, you know why. This big old fat bitch was somehow jealous of this white woman and her family. And it infuriated her. She became irate. She became manic. Maybe she went into the grocery store, couldn't afford some shit. You know, there's multiple different factors that could play. But ultimately, it genuinely just comes down to jealousy. It comes down to racism. And that's the motive. This should be a hate crime. This should be a hate crime. But I want you guys to notice how the media covers it. Okay, yes, he succumbed to his injury. Okay, right. But they're not going to just outright say, yes, he was murdered. He was murdered. The child, a 3-year-old child, Julian Wood, right? They telling us to say their name, say his name. Because this is wild. This is like, how can you explain it? And there will be no riots. There will be no protests. As Joe Biden continues to say, oh, the greatest threat to America is white supremacy. That's the narrative. And if the narrative is questioned with true crime events, this is a true crime channel. If the narrative is questioned, then it fucks up everything that they got going on. But this is a travesty. And the reality is, even though, you know, certain individuals in the community will have their own prejudices, right? Specifically in this case toward white people, they don't believe this type of stuff is going down. They only think it goes as far as a thought, right? They only think it goes as far, man, I can't stand these white people, man. I want to slap the shit out that white boy, but I know I can't do it because I'm going to go to jail for 30 years. They think that's the mindset that these modern black kids have, and it's not. It's, and I mean, this is just really how it is. If they are in the streets, a Thug Max Alpha Simp, which we have covered what a Thug Max Alpha Simp is on my other channel, Reclaim Your Throne. If they are in the streets and they are a Thug Max Alpha Simp, they see white people as a easy lick, an easy person to rob, somebody who's not going to put up any fight. That's the reality. If they're a street person, if they're in the streets, and then, you know, there's even a certain, I mean, it's on Twitter mainly. I'm not going to say it's in real life, even though, you know, online presence is a manifestation of what you feel in real life. But there's a huge justification for this. It's embarrassing. Okay, so let's keep going.
Look right here. You can see North Olmsted police shut down this Giant Eagle parking lot Monday afternoon while shoppers were still inside the store grabbing their groceries. It was outside of this Lorraine Road location where 3-year-old Julian Wood and his mother were stabbed. Shortly after, police arrested and charged 32-year-old Bionca Ellis in connection to this crime.
So y'all see it. Y'all see this monster, this beast. This bitch looks like a wildebeest. And obviously she has the I don't know if this is a wig, a lace. I know it's a lace front. It's a lace front. It's a lace front. There, I mean, this is what it looks like, guys. This is the face of jealousy. A woman who, and quite frankly, I don't know why she was like mad jealous of this woman and her child. It's not like, you know, I mean, no disrespect to the family, but it's not like she's just, I don't know, some model or some running, you know, y'all seen that meme where there's like this super hot white girl, blonde girl, and it looks like, I don't know where she's at, but it looks like she's at a rap concert or like some field day in the hood or something. And like the sisters are looking at her just like with the meanest face because she's super hot, and then they're like super fat and shit. And I don't know if y'all ever seen that meme, but maybe somebody can mention me on X in my replies. But yeah, it's just like that. It's like that immediate disgust when you look at somebody who has something that you don't. That's what I feel it was. And they're allegedly, right? Okay, allegedly over the whole video, so I don't have to say that bullshit anymore. But you really want to keep it a buck? She's looking at this white lady with her kid, and she's like, I don't have the family that she has. Maybe she does have kids, but it's not like there's a, you know, there's a good relationship there. So the jealousy seeps out, and she looks at this woman, and she just can't handle herself. She erupts in anger. These super sister gremlins are on demon time.
As Ellis was taken into custody, other officers worked to give Wood and his mother first aid as medics rushed to the scene. Ellis's motive and connection to the victims is still not entirely clear at this point, but shoppers told News 5 that this incident has rattled them, especially considering a murder-suicide happened at the same exact store roughly 1 year ago.
Lord.
I was completely shocked because I've grown up here my whole life, so I was just shocked to even hear that happened.
It's scary knowing that you can't even just go to the grocery store anymore. And after, things that have happened in the past, it's like, what's going on?
Now, North.
And I mean, let's keep it a buck. The common white person is none the wiser too. That's why you have so many radical leftist white liberals. They just don't see it. I don't know what it is, but they just can't understand that there is an eruption going on in this country when it comes to crime. And it just so happens that the community is at the forefront of that. And unfortunately, these ninjas are, and I hate to say it, but and I personally don't think it'll ever happen. I really don't. But the logic here is these ninjas are inching us closer and closer to a race war. And I'm going to put that in quotations. But I mean, that's really what's happening because, and here's the thing. We know that this is all manufactured as well. I want to preface this. The people who are out on the streets willing and able to do these crimes are not supposed to be on the streets, but we do have woke leftist judges, prosecutors infiltrated throughout the whole system, period. The whole system is infiltrated. There's no question about it. There's no doubt about that. When you see the conviction of President Trump, then you're just like, I mean, the whole system is woke. The whole system is, celebrating Pride Month this month. If you have government officials who are celebrating Pride Month, your town is woke. Your town is fucked. You're done. You're done. You will never be safe. Okay. Period. If you go into your city hall and there is a rainbow flag, it's over. It's already over. It's done. All right. So any of you watching the video and you have that in your city, just know that you're working off of borrowed time. What is destined to happen in your city has already manifested itself into the I would say the cogs of the wheels that you need turning to make a city work and function well. So if that is, the push, the freaking LGBT stuff, the DEI stuff, I mean, just hire the best people for the job. But instead, they're trying to punch some box. Like, we have this many blacks, we have this many Asians, we have this many, and so much so. I mean, I don't even know why I said Asians, because they're excluding Asians because they're doing so good now, right? The Asians have not slowed down a bit. They're excelling, and they're excluding them because they're like, wow, these motherfuckers are doing too good, right? And we saw that at Harvard. And I do agree that you don't want a whole bunch of Chinese people to infiltrate your Ivy Leagues. I genuinely believe that would overall be a bad thing. But you can't just deny somebody based off of that. And that's what they were doing. They were trying to keep the number of Asians down in Harvard because they were excelling so well. And It's just wild. It's just wild. There was a story that came out of UCLA, where basically the medical students. This is why, like when these hoes say, "I'm a med student," bitch. I don't give a fuck. Are you like you're not? They're not even testing you guys on what you should know. You believed in the COVID hype. You're a bot. I don't care. You thinking that, oh, I'm a med student, it doesn't make me think that you're smart. As a matter of fact, it could, have me leaning to you're probably just, willing to parrot whatever the hell they tell you is real and fake. And how can you be a med student and then also believe in transgender? It makes no sense. So if you're bringing those two in together, then you're done with me. I think you're a dumb person. Period. But yeah, there was a story out of UCLA, and essentially the med students can't pass basic competency medical competency tests. They can't pass basic mental competency tests, like just common sense questions, right? Common sense questions. Let's keep going. Sorry, I'm just going on a rant.
Homestead's mayor, Nicole Daly-Jones, also weighed in, saying,
guys, hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App. We do not have any super trap. I am demonetized, shadow banned to oblivion on this channel. So hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App. Link is in the description box, and it is on the banner, the Cash App specifically, and the PayPal. Guys, support the channel. Go to the Patreon, which will potentially transition to locals. But show love.
Saying in part, quote, "I am deeply saddened by this incident. Our hearts go out to the two victims of what appears to be a random act of violence." Now, again, if you're just joining us right here on News 5, we can confirm, according to the medical examiner, that 3-year-old Julian Wood, who was stabbed at this Giant Eagle parking lot with his mother, was rushed to an area hospital and has since passed away. We're going to continue to follow up with officials about the next steps in the investigative process, and as soon as anything new breaks or develops, we'll bring it to you. Reporting in North Olmsted, Mike Holden, News 5.
So here's my thing. Let's watch how the pro-blacks justify a young white 3-year-old toddler being murdered. Right? Because you're gonna see it. If this story gets legs, you're gonna see it. You are. Okay? And that's a fact. That's a fact. So let's keep going. We got a lot more to break down on this story. We're going to try and look for a motive, and then we're also going to see how the mainstream media is covering this and see if they will call Bionca Ellis a murderer, alleged murderer, right? Because she hasn't been convicted yet. But we're going to see. And this one is something that they can't deny, right? It's something that's undeniable that's going on right now. And it's horrible because nobody's talking about this. And there is a very easy solution. It really is. The people who are supposed to be behind bars need to stay behind bars. Right? We need to clamp down on more violent crimes instead of chasing a former president for a bookkeeping, which I don't even believe it was an error. I think he, I think there's nothing wrong with paying a bitch to shut the hell up, whether you fucked her or not. Right? If she signs an NDA and she accepts the money, it is what it is. But this is not this. That's another topic for another day. We already talked about that. I'm still a little pissed about the convictions. The 34 felony, and now they're running with convicted felon. It is what it is. I don't give a fuck. We still voting for the man.
Begin tonight with breaking news out of North Olmsted, where we've learned a woman and her 3-year-old son were stabbed.
We want to give you a live look here at the scene. Police say it happened around 3 p.m. at the Giant Eagle on Lorraine Road. Now, both the woman and the baby were taken to St. John Medical Center, We're told they're undergoing treatment there. Police arrested 32-year-old Bionca Ellis.
This is a 32-year-old woman. This is a 32-year-old woman. And guess what? You know what these hoes love to say, especially y'all know. These hoes love to say, you a grown ass man and you did it. You a grown ass man and you on YouTube and you talking about this and you talking about that. You a grown ass man. Bitch, you're a 32-year-old woman stabbing a mother and her child. You ain't shit. And anybody who tries to justify that shit ain't shit either. Like, I'm so tired. It's so fucking crazy because you'll really have these hoes getting mad that you're exposing the some shit that we need to get a handle of real quick. Otherwise, it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly. You a grown ass man on YouTube and you got that ugly ass hat. The white man, your daddy, and all this other bullshit. Like, bitch, y'all are over here justifying the murder of a 3-year-old boy. Let that sink in.
Of Cleveland. So right now, it's not clear if there's a connection between Ellis and the two victims, but we are working to learn more. We'll have updates for you on air and online.
So, you know, there's no clear connection. Right. Of course there isn't. Because the connection is envy. That's the connection. Her eyes were green, full of envy. Right? And that's what we talk about on this channel. Okay? It's absolutely insane. So, let's keep going. We got a lot to talk about here, guys. And we're going to break down how it's being covered as well, because that's part of what we do on this channel.
We continue to follow breaking news. A 3-year-old boy and his mother are in the hospital at this hour after getting stabbed outside of a busy supermarket. And adding to the shock of this crime, the mayor describing this as a random act of violence. Caitlin McCarthy has the new developments.
The 3-year-old boy and his mother were taken here to St. John Medical Center in Westlake after being stabbed in the parking lot of North Olmsted's Giant Eagle. The little boy is in critical condition, according to one of our sources. His mother is stable.
This area is really nice and everything. We'd never really expect something this scary.
Customers shocked to see a crime scene in the parking lot of Giant Eagle in North Olmsted Monday afternoon. A mother and her 3-year-old son were stabbed, according to police. They received several 911 calls for help.
We have several calls of somebody with a knife trying to stab people.
Investigators say this is the suspect, 32-year-old Bionca Ellis of Cleveland. Officers arrested her shortly after.
Walking towards Lorraine Road, black leggings, black top. She's got the knife with her.
The city's mayor says it appears this was a random act of violence.
You know, that could be me.
So, you know, something that stood out to me, was she trying to stab people? Like, okay, I can't stab this one, so I'm gonna stab this one. I can't stab this one, so I'm gonna stab this one. Or was she trying to stab these two individuals? Because those are two different things. Was she trying to stab this mother and her child, or was she trying to stab people and bouncing around from person to person, like, you know, those fucking jihadists in the UK, running to different people and stabbing, but or like that guy who killed the cop in Germany, you know, jumping from person to person, stabbing, just stabbing as many people as you can? Or was she, I see this woman and her child, and I'm stabbing them? Those are two different things, and the news knows it. So to me, it seems like the news is trying to paint it, and they did say, oh, a random stabbing. The news is trying to paint it as if she did not target these two individuals specifically, but she was going from person to person and trying to get as many people as she could. And that's not the case. It looks like she stabbed these two, the mother and her 3-year-old child, and then just dipped off, maybe. That's what it sounds like to me. So it's not she's going around trying to stab people, like the news said. It's No, she saw one group, which I guess, a couple, they're not a couple, but it's a mother and son. She saw them and she wanted to kill them. That's it. That's it. It doesn't sound like to me that she was bouncing around. We're going to hear from the police, but just how they're covering it, she is angry. She's fat. She is a sister. Okay? So all these things are factoring in when she's choosing who she wants to attack.
These are people that, things happen to, so you want to know what happened.
This violence is leaving neighbors saddened for this little boy and his mother.
I saw the spilled grocery, and, I know you're not supposed to rubberneck, but you do care about other people. When something like that happens, you care that's a person that happened to.
Tonight, I reached back out to the hospital for any update they can give us on how that 3-year-old boy is doing. We haven't heard back yet, but as soon as we do, we'll update you here on air or on our website, cleveland19.com. Reporting in Westlake, Caitlin McCarthy, 19 News.
And we expect to get much more information as early as tomorrow. So stay with 19 News for continuing coverage as we learn more about this tragic story. You can find all of our reports at Cleveland.
All right. These sisters are deranged. They're completely out of control. And the community as a whole is completely out of control. But the sisters are at the helm because, for one, they're raising all the Thug Max Alpha Simps. They're raising the, which, obviously black men play an absent role in that, if you will. But, me personally, I ain't got no damn kids. And if I did have kids, I definitely would be in their lives. But this is something that is not practiced in the community, and it's justified to be a single mother in the community. And it's also justified to have hatred, vitriol, a sense of reckoning, revenge for white people. And it pains me to say that because I did not grow up like that. I really didn't. So I just really started seeing it in other kids in many cases. I'm just like, man, you guys are filled with hate. And I understand being a young person and being filled with hate. This is a grown ass woman, 32 years old. And y'all, like I said, they be talking to you a grown ass man and on the internet talking about people, family. Bitch, if your family did not do any of this stuff, then I wouldn't be talking about them. How about that? So, and then you got this 32-year-old woman, this grown ass, big ass woman, gonna attack a woman and her child. It's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely ridiculous. These super sister gremlins are on demon time.
Information into our newsroom in just the past hour on that fatal stabbing at a North Olmsted Giant Eagle.
That's right. We've just received 911 calls and videos that paint a frantic scene following the incident.
911, what is your emergency?
There's a child. He's bleeding all over the place. We're at North Olmsted Giant Eagle. I don't know what happened to him.
Our Kaitor K joins us now with the very latest from officials as they continue to investigate. Hi, Kaitor.
Hey, so the suspect, Bionca Ellis, appeared before a Rocky River Municipal Court judge today for aggravated murder. Now, she appeared by video and kept her head down during this entire arraignment. The judge also scheduled her preliminary hearing.
What a coward. What a coward. Keeping her head down the whole time. What a coward. She thought she was going to get away with it, but she didn't. What a coward. What a vile heifer. She's a coward. You couldn't stand on it, bitch, in court. See, here's my thing. If this how you feel, if this how you rocking, if this how you moving, stand on it. Stand on it. Say this how I'm rocking out. I stabbed this, that, and the third. Stand on it, but head down, shoulders slack. You're defeated. You're defeated. With one decision in life, you are defeated. And, you know, hopefully they give her the max time. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. Okay. Can't be surprised with that either. With these woke leftist judges and DAs. So, let's keep going. I mean, this story is wild. It's insane. It's unfathomable.
Hearing and set her bond for $1 million. And about an hour after that, North Olmsted officials held a press conference. Mayor Nicole Daley Jones and the police chief gave their condolences to stabbing victim 38-year-old Margot Wood for her injuries and the loss of her 3-year-old son Julian Wood. Detective Sergeant Matt Beck then...
You heard that? The loss or the murder.
Started laying out the timeline, saying they got alerted of the Giant Eagle stabbing just after 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. He says Ellis had obtained a large kitchen knife from Volunteers of America thrift store on Lorraine Road before heading to the Giant Eagle.
He was then seen exiting.
So this bum ass bitch go to the thrift store, grabs a knife, and goes on what they're trying to paint as a stabbing spree. It looks like she stabbed 2 people in a targeted. I mean, this is. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, bro. But this is what we have to expose. This is what we're fighting. This is the evil that we are speaking against. And it's going to be a hard, tough, rocky road. It is, because it's difficult to it's difficult to talk about, especially with the censorship. It's an uncomfortable conversation that we must have.
Volunteers of America walked over to Giant Eagle, where she was on their cameras, spotted Mrs. Wood and her son, and then proceeded to follow them out to the parking lot. And somewhere near their vehicle, Miss Ellis then attacked the 2 of them. As of this point, and speaking with the mother and our knowledge, that no, there was no connection between these 2 whatsoever. This was entirely a random act of violence.
Sergeant Beck says no more than 2 minutes passed from when Ellis saw Wood in the grocery store and the stabbings themselves. He said the child was in the shopping cart at the time and suffered 2 stab wounds, one in the face and the other in the back, and the mom was stabbed in her shoulder. Now, Ellis's next court date is set for June 10th. And just moments ago, 3 News obtained 911 calls and police video of Ellis's arrests. We are currently coming through those, and we will show you guys what we are finding coming up at 5.
Just an absolutely tragic story. All right, Kai Tori, look forward to hearing more from you at 5 o'clock. Thank you.
So still waiting on details, obviously. Let's see. We got a lot of coverage on this. I don't know where. Let's see. This one is 16 minutes. On News 12, it's the same ones. Okay, yeah, that's the same ones. Let's listen to this press conference real quick from the mayor and the police as we start to, gather more information on this one. Is that where I want to go? Nah, hold on. I want to take it somewhere else, just to really refine the details and the events that took place. Guys, share the video, like the video. Also, we know that President Trump was just convicted, so it's a perfect time to plug the Trump is a Blood t-shirts and really break down everything that's going on in that case with a simple visit to my merch store to figure out what's going on and the updates on that. And we do have t-shirts to reflect the updates on Trump. So guys, we're going to go to a brief commercial break. We'll be right back. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Janquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time. All right, so let's get into this.
Afternoon, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News coming to you from our digital desk. We want to get you to some breaking news that's happening as we speak. A possible stabbing at the Giant Eagle in North Olmsted. We're actually just getting some brand new information in, including a mugshot. What we know is that, let me just give you this comes from the city of North Olmsted. As we look at the scene, and you can see numerous, I've seen as our camera is panning around, they look like scissors. You can see a pair in the lower left. You can see a pair up there by that, what looks like a Browns jacket or a Browns blanket. You can see our reporter, Colton Molesky. He's going to be live in our 4:30 coming.
Shout out to Main TV for the $5 Cash App. He says, we live? Absolutely. We are definitely live. Okay.
Who's your hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Coming up here in just a minute. So we'll, once he starts giving his report live on Channel 19, we'll listen in. But here are the details. At approximately 3 o'clock today, just a little after, in North Olmsted, police officers responded to multiple 911 calls of a possible stabbing in the parking lot of the North Olmsted Giant Eagle. This is in the 272 block of Lorraine Road. Officers, when they got to the area, they were given a description of a suspect and the location of 2 victims. Several officers were able to take the suspect into custody, while other officers on the scene began to give first aid to the victims. The statement goes on to say the suspect is Bionca Ellis, 32 years old. At this time, the condition of the victims are unknown. Further investigation is still pending. There's a very large area blocked off in this parking lot, again, of the Giant Eagle on Lorraine in North Olmsted. We'll work on getting you that picture. It's here, the mugshot, or at least the picture that identifies the suspect from Cleveland, Ohio, Bionca Ellis. Born in 91, doing the quick math, 91, 01, 10, 20. She's 33, 34 years old approximately. Let's listen in now as we get a report from our reporter out there, Colton Molesky, on the scene.
Are you there, bud? Jesus Christ.
You're giving it all away.
The delay is crazy.
Free thing to look at.
All right, let's
You're
go.
giving it all away. Yeah, I want to start by taking you through the scene here in the parking lot of this Giant Eagle. Take a look behind me. It's a really scary thing to look at when you see a cart knocked over, the contents spilled all over this parking lot. This massive area has been taped off of this parking lot. It stretches all the way down about a city block, all the way down to my left and to my right. Here you see police cars, and again you see a couple of the cars trapped in this area around what is this cart here with all of its contents spilled all over the road. Really just a sombering scene here in the parking lot of a grocery store that people are still, I mean, there's still people coming in and grabbing groceries, walking out and grabbing groceries around the scene of where police are still investigating this crime. Like you mentioned, there were a couple of victims, a 2-year-old girl and her mother taken to St. John's Hospital in Westlake for treatment. The mom in stable condition, the child in critical condition. I'm also seeing a press release from North Olmsted, the city of North Olmsted, on the suspect, Bionca, a 32-year-old suspect, Bionca Ellis, who they have taken into custody. Again, just seeing this press release, still working with the folks here on learning more information about exactly what led up to this attack, about the scene, about the call that came in, how they're managing this area. I see that we also have something from the Giant Eagle, a statement from them on this incident. They say, we are aware of the reported incident, are working with authorities. For the moment, the authorities are the best source for information. That's from Giant Eagle. So again, just people coming in and out around this really scary scene of a tipped over cart and content spilled all over the place, surrounded by caution tape, by that police tape. Just a really scary thing to see in the parking lot of a grocery store. So we're working to learn more information as this continues to unfold in North Olmsted. Colt Molesky, 19 News.
Dan DeRosa with 19. I'm going to jump in here after that report from Colton Molesky there. We're going to work on, as you'll see, we'll have more video there. I've got the mug shot here. Just stay with me as we get this pulled up. This was sent out by the North Olmsted Police Department, or the city of North Olmsted. So give us a second here. Again, what we're hearing is it's a 2-year-old little boy.
God damn, what the hell is going on with them?
Shot back. Again, this is at the Giant Eagle in North Olmsted on Lorraine. We're getting reports that a 2-year-old little boy and his mother were stabbed. And there is one woman in custody.
So this is when they got the reports live.
We'll get you that picture here in a second. Again, this seems to be an attack in the parking lot on a mother and her 2-year-old child that were shopping at that Giant Eagle.
You know, I'm kind of looking for things that stand out. I'm looking for how they initially reported it. I'm looking for if they were able to find, you know, any motive in the initial reporting and then retract. All those things, you know, are important to me to kind of draft how this whole thing went down.
And some sort of stabbing incident, as you heard Colton Molesky report. You can see that the mom and the 2-year-old were probably loading groceries into their car, and you see the grocery cart just completely flipped over and all of its contents there on just laying in the parking lot. And someone apparently pretty shaken up there, talking with firefighters. We do know that the first officers who responded were able to take the suspect into custody. And again, she is out of Cleveland, Ohio, Bionca Ellis.
Yep, so they got her name. That's crazy. Why is that woman like, bro, what the hell is wrong with these ladies, bro?
So we're trying to get this in. It is in daily graphics, you said? Let's see if I can. No, I can't get that.
Doing well. I was wondering if
Looks
you
like
were
our
somebody
Colton
from the fire chief.
Looks like our Colton Molesky may be talking to somebody out there. Let's take a listen in.
You know what? I'm from Fairview. I'm gonna pawn you off to somebody from North Olmsted.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to speak on the line. I'll let them know that you're here. Do they know you're here? I would imagine they've seen you.
I mean, I talked with a couple police officers. I know they told me to call the department, but if there's somebody on site who'd be willing to talk to me right now.
As you heard, that officer is just there assisting. We'll wait to get more information. Let's just review what we know at this point. We've got a mother and her 2-year-old little boy were stabbed in the parking lot of Giant Eagle in North Olmsted. We've got one suspect in custody, Bionca Ellis from Cleveland. Again, this is an active scene, but you can see the store is not closed. The attack happened in the parking lot there by that red Jeep. You can see the contents of the shopping cart have been knocked over. And so we will wait to get an official update from the police department or the fire department there on scene. We know the child is in critical. 2-year-old being stabbed to the point in critical at the local hospital.
Now I want to know, how many times did she stab that little boy? God, I mean, these women are wicked, bro. Just wicked. I mean, this big old lady ain't have nothing better to do.
Is obviously a reason for concern, and to think about that child and his mother, who are apparently both at the hospital. And as we were looking at the contents earlier, it does appear that there seemed to be a pair of scissors, or maybe even 2 pairs of scissors, very near that scene, right in front of the shopping.
Yeah, there's no way she stabbed them with scissors. Let's keep it a buck. They said she got a kitchen knife from the Salvation Army, or not the Salvation Army, but the thrift store.
Cart. You can kind of see that perhaps the scissors broke, but you can see the scissors laying in front of what looks like a Brown's blanket, and numerous flowers that were in that shopping cart. Again, the question is, and we can see a first aid kit there that was used, and still trying to get you that mug shot. And we'll get that mugshot in just a minute. But officially from the city of North Olmsted, looks like this is from the Division of Police. We know that 2 people, at least a minimum of 2 people, were stabbed in this parking lot of Giant Eagle. The investigation underway, a lot of authorities, a lot of law enforcement there in the parking lot. This did take place outside of the Giant Eagle. This was not.
So it looks like they lost audio.
But we'll have that mugshot here in just a second. You can see the amount of first aid that was given. A lot of that there is, those are first aid packs out of vehicles. Unfortunately, a lot of blood on some rags there, and that shows just how critical this situation was. And we know that the child, the 2-year-old little boy, is in critical condition. We have a statement from, and again, there's a part of the scissors. It almost looks like they broke. If you have those scissors that come apart, I'm not sure if that's what we're looking at or if they are intact. We have a statement from the mayor, Nicole Daly Jones, the mayor of North Olmsted. I am deeply saddened by the incident this afternoon in the parking lot of the North Olmsted Giant Eagle supermarket. A female who is currently in the custody of North Olmsted police stabbed a female customer and her 2-year-old son. Both mother and child were immediately transported to St. John Medical Center, where they are undergoing treatment at this time. The statement from the mayor goes on to say, our hearts go out to the 2 victims of what appear to be a random act of violence. Again, once again, from the mayor, our North Olmsted safety forces responded quickly and handled the situation with tremendous professionalism. And so that's what we're hearing from the mayor of North Olmsted, Nicole Daly Jones. And we'll get, I believe we'll have this. We do have the mugshot now. Scott, I'll take it there. Here is the mugshot of the suspect. This is Bionca Ellis, born in 1991 from Cleveland, Ohio, in what's being called a random act of violence by the mayor of North Olmsted, a stabbing, a pretty vicious scene.
I mean, there's just so many stories. I mean, I'm backed up, honestly. I really need to catch up, but this one is a big one I felt had to go live on because it's current. It's what's happening now. These motherfuckers done lost their mind, yo. They really have. As you can see, the scene obviously looks chaotic, and many people who were in the area in the vicinity were severely affected. You could see the emotional state of that one guy. Obviously, we saw the mother and her daughter, and her trying to shield her daughter away from looking, although she didn't do good of a job. But definitely a scene that on an everyday basis, you can look at and just be like, man, this is something that needs to be addressed ASAP.
In the parking lot of the grocery store there on Lorraine Road, and you can see the contents of that shopping cart just completely turned over, and then all of the first aid material that was used to try and get help for the mom and the 2-year-old. We understand the little boy is in critical condition, is what we're hearing from sources. And again, this woman is in custody. I'm going to do the math. Believe it's 32-year-old Bionca Ellis of Cleveland is in custody for this stabbing. From what we hear from the police department, there were numerous 911 calls that came in to the police department talking about an attack taking place in the parking lot. First responders, police got there really quickly to the point to where they were able to take Ellis into custody. The statement from the police says, as officers arrived in the area, they were given a description of the suspect and the location of the 2 victims. Several officers were able to take the suspect into custody, while other officers on scene began to give first aid to the victims. Obviously, a lot of questions to be hammered out. The scene, very scary. The store is not closed for the people that are in that area. Again, we're talking North Olmsted on Lorraine Road, and what appears to be a random attack by this woman in the parking lot of Giant Eagle, and now a 2-year-old who was stabbed, 2-year-old little boy in critical, and his mother also taken to the hospital. I believe they were taken to St. John Medical Center there in the North Olmsted area. What we're going to do is we're going to wrap up our digital portion of this. We wanted to get on the record with the new information that has all really come out in the last 10, 15 minutes. This happened at just after 3 o'clock, so we're not even 2 hours old into this scene.
Wow.
But the investigation will continue. You saw our Colton Molesky is live there. He will be live throughout our early newscast coming up again at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock on Channel 19. So as he's out there trying to get new information, make sure you tune in to get the very latest. Again, just getting you some updated information. 2 people hurt in a random attack of violence, a random stabbing in the grocery store parking lot. A 2-year-old little boy in critical is what we're told, and his mother also receiving treatment at a local hospital. Tune in to Channel 19 to get the very latest. Otherwise, I'm Dan DeRose with 19. Have a good.
So they keep saying, oh, random act. God. I mean, sounds like bullshit to me. Sounds like a very targeted act, although it might feel random. She knew what she was doing. That's what it was. That's what it is. She knew what the hell she was doing. But she wanted to hurt somebody. And she wanted to hurt them because of her own envy. That internal jealousy, right? that we talk about that's going on, that's pervasive in the community to this day, right? It's wild.
We're at 5. I'm Chris Fry. Tiffany Tucker is on assignment, and we begin tonight with breaking news on a violent assault and possible stabbing at a local grocery store. Colton Molesky live in North Olmsted at the scene, continuing to gather information. And Colton, what do we know at this hour?
Chris, we know that there's 2 people who were taken to a nearby hospital. One 2 years old and a mother taken to a hospital after this attack. I want to show you the scene right here. You can see it's really a sobering thing to see in a grocery store parking lot. A cart with all of its contents tipped over and spilled all behind these cars parked over to the right. Surrounded by this police tape, you have officers still at work documenting. You see an officer right there back by those cones taking some pictures over there. You have officers with gear all over the place still working this scene and still gathering information from this scene. Here's what we also, or what, when I was talking to a few people who were just coming and pulling in who weren't even here when this happened, a lot of people just coming over the tape and just sharing how scary it is to see something like this happen in a grocery store parking lot. See how sobering it is to see this scene right where they're getting their groceries or they're getting their produce. Here's what we know right now. A 32-year-old woman, Bionca Ellis, was taken into custody. It noted in a release that
Yeah, he didn't know whether to say woman or wildebeest.
several officers worked to take Bionca Ellis into custody. This happened around 3 o'clock. That's when the call came in. Multiple calls, 911 calls about an attack happening in the parking lot. 2 people, a mother and a 2-year-old boy, taken to St. John Medical Center in Westlake where they're undergoing treatment. We're still waiting on an update on the condition of those 2 victims. And here's what we heard from Giant Eagle. Again, this happened in the parking lot of a Giant Eagle. Their statement is they are aware of the reported incident and are working with the authorities. For the moment, the authorities, are the best source for information. And so we're going to be out here and continue talking with folks and continue to work to get the latest information. Right now, that is what we know outside of this really, really sad scene here in the parking lot of a Giant Eagle in North Olmsted. Colt Molesky, 19 News.
So there you have it. We got a few more reports. We got video of police arriving. And then we also have video of the suspect, Bionca Ellis, facing the judge, which that's going to be very interesting to see the full context of that, when she started to lay her head down, what she's really feeling in this moment. But this is something that you can't take back. This is something that you can't take back. So let's proceed here. All right, let's go.
Good morning. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News, coming to you from our digital desk. We've just gotten in some new body cam from police who showed up yesterday afternoon at that stabbing situation at the Giant Eagle in North Olmsted. We're talking about the Giant Eagle that's on Lorraine Road in what appears to be a random attack, that according to city officials with North Olmsted. Now, the video you're about to see, and I want to be very clear, this is dash cam and body cam from the Westlake Police Department. They were called in for mutual aid. They show up a situation like this. You can see very quickly in this video, they're not exactly sure what kind of an attack they had on their hands. Let's keep in mind, we've seen this unfortunately in the past in Northeast Ohio, whether it's a shooting inside a Giant Eagle or an attack. You could have a situation where you have multiple people hurt, and they just weren't sure that this was an isolated, and not so sure that it was isolated, but it was just the attack in the parking lot, whether it started inside and moved out to the parking lot. We're waiting to get confirmed whether this was truly a 100% random attack of a mother and her 3-year-old son in the park.
Which we completely don't buy that shit. We don't buy it. It's a completely random attack and da 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 da, and that's what they're claiming. And it's so interesting that they're claiming, oh, it was a completely random attack, and they don't know that. How do they know that? How do they know it was a completely random attack? Or she just said, I randomly did this shit because fuck that bitch. Like, what are they hearing that we don't know, that it's a completely random attack? It doesn't seem random. It doesn't appear random. You know, it's just, how can you write it off as something random when in all actuality, you can look at the, you can literally look at this situation and be like, oh, this shit wasn't random. She stabbed that bitch because she was white. I mean, anybody knows. And if the community is really telling the truth, like if this was some barbershop talk or salon talk, they'll tell you straight up, yeah, she stabbed her because she was white. And she had a kid and she looked happy and she was buying groceries and she was living her life and she was, you know, doing what she wanted to do, having her way in life and thriving with a beautiful family. I mean, it's that simple.
Parking lot. We're also waiting for that to be further confirmed. The unfortunate part is we do know the little boy, Julian Wood, 3 years old, did die as a result of this attack. That has been confirmed by police and the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner. So the video we're about to show you, we're waiting to get body cam, police camera video from North Olmsted. They would be the first officers, first responders to get to the Giant Eagle. They're the ones that tried to help that 3-year-old little boy and the mother who was stabbed. She was taken to the hospital as well. What you're about to see is Westlake showing up. They got there rather quickly. When you'll see in the video, as the officers are running towards the inside of Giant Eagle to see if there are any other victims, you'll see one of the stretchers heading to the mother and the child. That shows you how quickly mutual aid got there in Westlake. Now, we do know the woman that police claim is the suspect here. This is 32-year-old Bionca Ellis. We do expect her this afternoon to make her initial appearance. Now, there's some jurisdiction things that have to happen. They want to get her a public defender. That means the public defender has to get out to North Olmsted for this initial appearance. That's how serious this is. This is obviously now going to be possibly, potentially, a suspect facing murder charges now that that little boy, unfortunately, has passed away. We will bring you that this afternoon, but we just got this video in. We want you to see it. So take a look. We'll play it a couple of times. This is only a minute long. This is dash cam and body cam of Westlake police officers showing up for mutual aid. Take a look.
Anybody go inside Giant Eagle, check the rest of these facilities for any other victims. You have like 8 Westlake officers on scene. You want some time looking? 100%. Go inside, take a look around, make sure we have no other victims. 5224. I'll be out Giant Eagle. But we'll be doing a sweep of Giant Eagle. All right. Inside, yes, all Westlake got it.
All right.
You guys are freaking me out.
All right, Mitch, Alton, do this. Start that way.
Got it. Everybody over here okay? Have you seen anybody hurt? No? Okay.
That is the end of the video that was given to us by Westlake. We know that there was no one that was injured inside, nobody hurt inside the grocery store. That is the good news. We're going to play it again. You hear that Giant Eagle employee right inside the door say, "You guys are freaking me out." You see another employee there at the end. He's stocking rotisserie chicken The police are just there. They're doing what they've been trained to do: sweep the area, make sure there are no other victims. They didn't know if this was a mass casualty type of incident. They didn't know at the time that it was just contained to the parking lot, but they had to do the due diligence. They had to go in there and sweep the store to make sure that that the attacker isn't inside the store and that there's nobody else that needs help in there. Take a look again.
These motherfuckers finna run it back.
So it was a list of charges at this point. You can.
All right, let's run it back.
Again, it was just preparedness. It was training that was kicking in for those Westlake police officers. The body cam video that we're really waiting for is from North Olmsted. The officers who arrived had been given a description of the suspect, and this is the suspect. Apparently, we're told it took several officers to take her into custody. Again, Bionca Ellis, 32 years of age. She is going to make her initial appearance this afternoon. So therefore, we don't have a list of charges at this point. You can assume a pretty safe bet that there will be at least one murder charge, unfortunately, because we know that 3-year-old little boy died as a result of being stabbed in the parking lot. She is the one who matched the description. She is the one that was taken into custody by police. And so we will wait to see her in court today and what the initial charges were. You can assume there will be a felony assault and perhaps all the way to a murder or at least a homicide charge for Bionca Ellis. But we'll wait for the court system to handle that this afternoon. Expected around 1 o'clock. We know courts don't always run on a schedule. So we will bring that to you when it happens as well. Again, just a terribly tragic story that's unfolding there in North Olmsted. What appears to be a random attack on a mother and her 3-year-old son, Julian Wood, who did not survive that attack. We do not have the name of the mother at this point. We'll wait for investigators to release that. But we do unfortunately know the name of the little boy as Julian Wood, the 3-year-old who was stabbed and did not survive. If we have any other breaking news, we'll bring it to you here on our digital properties. Otherwise, tune in at 11 o'clock and we'll have the latest information on this shooting, or I'm sorry, on this stabbing at the Giant Eagle in North Olmsted. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a good afternoon.
Woo! So that's deep, y'all. That is deep. The community is completely crashing out. I'm just say that right now. Hold on. It's a little blurry. Let's touch the focus. All right, cool. Yeah, the community is completely crashing out. I mean, there ain't no other way to say it. There ain't no other way to detail it. The community has completely crashed out. So much so that now you have the women committing violent crimes, which, I mean, it's not something that was far-fetched, right? Because we know these hoes will act a fool in any type of airport, restaurant, you name it. You name it. They on the countertops. They on top of the tables, throwing chairs, throwing condiments. But to this extent is ridiculous.
We continue to follow breaking news. A 3-year-old boy and his mother are in the hospital at this hour after getting stabbed outside of a busy supermarket. And adding to the shock of this crime, the mayor describing this as a random act of violence. Caitlin McCarthy has the new developments.
The 3-year-old boy and his mother were taken here to St. John Medical Center in Westlake after being stabbed in the parking lot of North Olmsted's Giant Eagle. The little boy is in critical condition, according to one of our sources. His mother is stable.
This area is really nice and everything. We would never really expect something this.
Oh, we saw this one already. My bad. All right, let me play her arraignment. Man, yeah, it's a simple case of envy. It's a simple case of jealousy. I don't think it's random. I think she targeted this woman and her child because she looked happy. They were white, straight up. That's pretty much all it takes to get these hippopotami irate.
With 19 News coming to you from our digital desk, we're going to be taking you to the initial appearance for the woman accused of stabbing and killing a 3-year-old in a Giant Eagle parking lot yesterday afternoon. She's also accused of stabbing his mother with her head down there. You should be seeing Bionca Ellis, 32 years old, of Cleveland. She's going to be charged with aggravated murder. Let's take you live into this initial arraignment.
We are prepared to answer the question about whether or not she wants to waive or demand the preliminary hearing. We have a copy of the complaint in front of us as well.
Very good. We'll be on the record on case number 24 CRA 791, State of Ohio, City of North Olmsted versus Bionca Ellis. Ms. Ellis should be before the court on the offense of aggravated murder. And Ms. Stevens, you did receive a copy of the complaint. Do you waive the reading of the complaint into the record?
Yes, Your Honor, we do waive reading of the complaint.
All right. Ms. Ellis, you have the right to what is termed a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing is a hearing in the municipal court. It is not a trial to determine your guilt or innocence. It is a hearing to determine whether or not the state of Ohio and the city of North Olmsted can produce sufficient evidence to establish probable cause that 1, a crime was committed, and 2, that you committed the offense. If you request a preliminary hearing, you have the right to confront and cross-examine any adverse witnesses. You have the right to subpoena your own witnesses. You yourself have the right to remain silent. You don't have to do or say anything. The burden is upon.
She has no idea what any of this means. Just to let you guys know. And that's why she's not paying attention. In her mind, what's going on is, man, these crackers got me up here at this courthouse, and I gotta sit up here with them folks and explain myself. I ain't gotta explain shit. That's what's going through her mind right now. I promise you.
Upon the state of Ohio and the city of North Olmsted to establish probable cause. If probable cause is established, this matter will be bound over to the Cuyahoga County Grand Jury for their review and possible indictment. If you are so indicted, you'll receive a summons to appear in downtown Cleveland at the Justice Center, and it'll be at that point in time you would enter a not guilty plea and be afforded a jury trial to determine your guilt or innocence. You have the right as well to waive the preliminary hearing and have this matter bound over directly to the grand jury in order to expedite any hearing or trial that you may have. You have the right to counsel. The court is appointed, or the appearance of the public defender, Ms. Stevens, is there. You further have the right to remain free on bond, and before you leave the presence of the court here today, we'll discuss the issue of bond as well. Ms. Stevens, on behalf.
Oh, Lord. Now, what are they going to set her bond at? That's going to be pivotal in determining if, you know, what type of judge, what type of prosecution we're going to have in this case. So keep your eyes peeled. Guys, make sure you hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. I am completely demonetized and completely shadow banned and censored on every platform, not just YouTube. It's X as well. I am shadow banned and censored on X. I'm shadow banned and censored on YouTube. I'm shadow banned and censored on Facebook. I'm shadow banned and censored on Instagram, all that stuff on TikTok. So guys, make sure you support the channel by hitting the Cash App, the PayPal, and you can also join the Patreon, join the locals, check me out on Odysse, check me out on Rumble. You could also buy the merch, which I highly, 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 highly recommend. These are the top of the line linens I am selling at my merch store. I mean, you're not going to get any better than this when it comes to quality. The print quality is high quality, and the comfortability of the clothing. I mean, woo. So guys, we're going to go to a brief break while I plug the merch. Make sure you go to the merch store, link in the description box. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Janquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
For Ms. Ellis, how do you wish to proceed?
Thank you, Your Honor. We have had a chance to discuss the waiver or the demanding of a preliminary hearing. Ms. Ellis would like to demand a preliminary hearing at this time.
Okay. The preliminary hearing will be set for Monday, June 10th at 10:30 in courtroom 3. And Officer Curtis, may I hear you on bond?
Your Honor, based on the nature of the offense, the city would request a high cash bond as high as the court is comfortable with.
Okay. Bond will be set at $1 million cash or surety. Okay.
Woo! There we go.
Thank you, Ms. Stevens. Thank you, Officer.
I mean, even though I don't think, I guess, I don't think she should have been given a bond. I think that she is a danger to society, but $1 million bond, that's not too bad. If she can put that up, it is what it is.
Officer Curtis. And
Thank you, Your Honor. Are you ready for Mr. Walker?
Yeah, you can replace him. Thank you. We'll see him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Stevens. Excuse me, could I go back on the record, please? Or could I have that back, please? I forgot one important thing. One of the most important things. I apologize. The record reflects that Ms. Ellis was arrested on the 3rd of June and appeared in court on June 4th by video or with counsel. The nature of the charge, possible penalty, and all rights are explained in open court and on the record. Upon review of the complaint filed against the defendant and detained without a warrant on the charge of aggravated murder, I will find that probable cause was shown and the detention was warranted. All right, the defendant.
Shout out to Main TV with the $5 Cash App. He says, "I'm still voting for Trump." Let's go, MAGA 2024.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Defendant requests a preliminary hearing. The preliminary hearing will be set for, as I stated, Monday, June 10th at 10:30 in courtroom 3. Bond set at $1 million cash or surety. Okay. Now you could replace her. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Dan DeRosa with 19 News. We got a brief look there at Bionca Ellis. She looked a lot different than the picture that was provided by the city of North Olmsted. I have the criminal complaint here. I'm going to read just what it says. This was filed this morning by the Rocky River Municipal Court. It is, again, just the complaint that the officer, the authorized police officer, pursuant and the detective being sworn on this 4th day of June in Cuyahoga, in the county of the state, city of North Olmsted, in said county and state, one thorough through investigation, eyewitness accounts, and other evidence state that Bionca Ellis did purposely and with prior calculation and design.
Prior calculation and design. I mean, that's premeditation. Ain't that murder in the first degree? Prior calculation and design. I mean, come on. Whoa. Where are we at with this thing?
Caused the death of, and the names have been blacked out in this court record, but we do know that the name of the little boy has been released by both the North Olmsted Police and the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner. He is 3-year-old Julian Wood. So again, did purposely and with prior calculation and design cause the death of Julian Wood, a child under the age of 13, to wit, using a fixed blade knife, did stab the victim in the face and in the back in violation of Ohio Revised Code 2903.1a, aggravated murder, a felony of the first degree. So as you heard, the preliminary hearing is scheduled for Monday, where we will have Miss Ellis again back in court downtown at the Justice Center, where she will officially be charged with aggravated murder. She will be given her first opportunity to plead not guilty. As you heard, the city asked for the highest cash bond possible that the judge felt was comfortable with, and he hit her with $1 million cash bond. That is,
and just recognize and understand, they gave Trump a higher bond. It's laughable. In New York, they gave Trump a higher bond. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. It's ridiculous.
Pretty routine in an aggravated murder case. $1 million bond is generally what we see. So we will work on getting you more on this. This was the picture that was given to us by the city of North Olmsted yesterday. She looked quite a bit different in the brief glimpse that we got of her, as she had her head down on the table through the entirety of the appearance, only picking it up to leave that video arraignment. We have much more on this. We do expect potentially a news conference from North Olmsted Police at approximately 2:30. Of course, we would bring that to you live on all of our digital properties. But again, what we learned new is that the child was stabbed in both the face and the back.
Wow. What an animal. She stabbed a 3-year-old child in the face and in the back. These super sister gremlins are on demon time.
And that the weapon was a fixed blade knife. As for why, does not seem to be an answer at this point.
Let's keep it a buck. Does not seem to be an answer. Random attack. She stabbed the mother and the child because they were white. Literally. It's that simple. It's that easy. The aggregation of microaggressions that she has, or presumably has perceived from white people, she's allowed that to add up into her heart, anger her, turn her heart cold, rock solid, envious. And she did this because the woman and her child were white, period. I mean, oh, we don't know why. So why did y'all say it was a random attack if you don't know why yet? We all know why. These super sister gremlins are on demon time.
What we were told by the mayor yesterday was that this was a completely random attack. We will wait to.
So the mayor is a woke lefty. You'll see.
Get more information coming up at 2:30. Should be at least some questions will get answered as we hear from police and investigators. So again, that will be live at 2:30 on all of our digital platforms. Otherwise, make sure you tune in to 3.5 hours of news and weather coming up at 3 o'clock on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a good afternoon.
Woo! So that's deep. That's deep, y'all. And they continue to reinforce it was a random act. It was a random act. Bullshit. Bullshit. I mean, anybody can read between these lines, bro. It's crazy. Anybody can read between these lines. And probably when she got in the interrogation room, they're asking why you did it, why you did it. She didn't have the ovaries to admit. That's just plain and simple what it is. She could not admit that she threw her freedom and life away because she was jealous of a white woman and her child. Period.
Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News Now, coming to you from our digital desk. We're just a couple of minutes away from a news conference being held by the North Olmsted Police Department, and I believe I saw the mayor of North Olmsted. This is all in update to yesterday's stabbing in the Giant Eagle parking lot that left a 3-year-old dead. It is just a shocking case, and from everything we have heard so far from the police department, this was completely random. A mother with a shopping cart taking a 3-year-old and their groceries back to the car were approached, according to police, by this woman, Bionca Ellis, who we already saw in court this afternoon. It looks like we're going to, Mayor, let's take you there live.
Mayor, City of North Olmsted. I want to start by expressing my deepest condolences to Margot Wood and her family, who were all victims in this senseless tragedy yesterday. especially for the unthinkable loss of their son, Julian. As a mother, I cannot even begin to fathom the sense of loss that this family is going through. The city and I all share in your loss and are terribly sorry. I also want to take a moment to thank all of our safety forces, our dispatchers, our police officers, our firefighters, paramedics, who again responded quickly, compassionately, and professionally. At this time, I will turn it over to our police chief, Bob Wagner.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Police Chief Bob Wagner. I want to first offer my heartfelt condolences to the family. It's a very difficult time, I know, for them, but also for all the first responders, police, fire, EMS that responded yesterday. We did have some mutual aid from Westlake Police and Fire, as well as Fairview Park Fire Department. And I do want to especially thank them for their quick and professional response. We responded to the area of Giant Eagle on an assault that multiple people were stabbed yesterday, approximately a couple minutes after 3 p.m. I will eventually turn this over to Detective Sergeant Matt Beck, but I wanted to just give you a couple of items of interest. We are currently pulling all the videotape, and it's a lot of data, so it's going to take us a little bit of time to push that out to you all. We pushed out several media releases, and we will continue to do so as we update. Currently, Miss Ellis, the suspect, is in custody. She's to be charged with.
Miss Ellis is crazy. Miss Ellis is crazy.
With murder. And as we gather the data and send that out, some of it will be redacted, but there's a lot between dash cam, body cam, store video, station video, 911 calls. So we've gotten all your record requests, and we will turn that over to you very soon. If it's not today, it should be tomorrow. So I will turn this over to Detective Sergeant Matt Beck, but thank you for your understanding in this time. It's difficult for all of us, and we will answer all your questions as they come in. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I am Detective Sergeant Matt Beck. As the mayor and the chief have already stated, I do want to take this opportunity to offer my condolences as well to the Wood family on the tragic loss of their 3-year-old son. So just to reiterate the facts of the case that we know to this point, yesterday afternoon at approximately 3:03 hours, our dispatch center got inundated with several 911 calls reporting a black female dressed in all black had just stabbed several people in the Giant Eagle parking lot.
Well, I mean, at least he said it. You know, this is the first time in a long time that they've even given a description post or pre identifying the suspect. You know, most of the time they just say a woman who da 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 da. I mean, there we go. So it's out there. Now what?
Which is located right across the street from our police station. Our all available units that we had, I think there was about six or seven patrolmen, several detectives responded there. The female was located, still carrying the knife that she used during this incident near the Dover Center exit from Giant Eagle. She was taken into custody. She provided no resistance to us, and she was immediately transported to the North Olmsted City Jail. The officers on scene also tended to the 2 victims, was 3-year-old male, and then his mother, 38, both of North Olmsted. Our officers did an amazing job doing life support, life-saving measures on both the child and the adult. Unfortunately, though, as we know, the young child did pass away yesterday. Miss Ellis has been charged with aggravated murder, as the chief said. She was arraigned this afternoon. The case has been continued.
And, you know, we did see the mayor speak. She didn't really say anything to reassure the people or anything like that. But I just want to let you guys know, yes, the mayor is, in fact, a Democrat, okay? She worked under Marcy Kaptur, who is a Democrat, I believe, in the House of Representatives, or she's a congresswoman, right? And I mean, this is what you get, right, with Democrat rule. So it's what she said was not surprising, and keep on pushing the random. This was random. This was random. This is random. It's not random.
And once we do present this to the grand jury, additional charges will be filed. I do want to take a moment to correct something in my initial press release this afternoon, that I stated that Mrs. Wood would make a full recovery. My intention on that was her physical wounds. I understand full-heartedly that there is going to be emotional trauma for the rest of her life. As somebody that has lost somebody that was 3 years old in my family, I fully understand the pain that she's going through. So with that said, I will stand for any questions that I can't ask or answer for you guys now.
Sergeant, this is all been characterized, but I'd like to know, just to confirm, that this was a random act. Is there any connection that you're aware of between the victim and the perpetrator?
As of this point, and speaking with the mother and our knowledge, that no, there was no connection between these two whatsoever. This was entirely a random act of violence.
So, I mean, just because there was no connection between the two doesn't mean that it was necessarily random, right? It could also mean that, you know, she that's even worse, in my opinion. You go up to a random person and everything, you know, all things being equal, you go after her and her child. She obviously had something that she wanted, and she couldn't let that woman be happy with her child, and she wanted somebody to be as fucked up as she is. Point blank.
Was she attacked? Was she attacked from behind? The lady just walked up to her and did whatever? Explain that aspect.
So to kind of start, Miss Ellis was inside the Volunteers of America store, where she obtained a butcher knife or some type of kitchen knife. Unknown at this point if she paid for that knife or if she stole it. But then she was then seen exiting Volunteers of America, walked over to Giant Eagle, where she was on their cameras, spotted Mrs. Wood and her son, and then proceeded to follow them out to the parking lot. And somewhere near their vehicle, Miss Ellis then attacked the two of them.
Was it a frontal attack or from behind?
The young child suffered 2 stab wounds, one to the face and one to the back, and then she suffered one to her shoulder area.
So was there any altercation inside Giant Eagle?
No. The video shows that they just passed each other. Miss Ellis turned around, looked at her, and followed her out the door.
Was the child in the cart? Was the child in the shopping cart?
Yes, the child was seated in the front seat of the shopping cart.
What do we know about the suspect's state of mind?
Her past with the criminal justice system, there is nothing that shows that she has any violent tendencies. She's only been arrested for theft from our agency.
So only been arrested for theft, which confirms she is a previous offender.
And I believe one crime out of the state of Florida, which was also nonviolent. So there's no indication that why she committed this. There is some mental health concerns that we have.
Mental health, dude. They're setting this up to where she's not going to be convicted. She's too inept to stand trial. I hate this, man. This is how they're setting it up, guys. Pay attention.
But nothing concrete at this point.
So has she been interviewed, and what can you share from that? If so,
The interview we did attempt to conduct today with my detectives was she wouldn't speak about anything. She lawyered up.
In your release, you mentioned that
She wouldn't speak about anything. She lawyered up, but it was just random. Nah, bruh. We all know. We all know.
The North Olmsted Police are familiar with her. How and how recent? The most recent outside of this event.
She was arrested in 2023 for petty theft out of Walmart, and then was pled out in Rocky River Court and put on probation.
Nothing prior to yesterday. I mean, in terms of her coming to the police station, talking to anybody, anything like that.
So she was arrested, I believe, last Thursday on an outstanding probation violation warrant.
So when you get arrested on a probation violation, they're supposed to keep you in. That's the whole point. You're released on probation, and if you violate, you're supposed to get locked back up. Why was this woman out?
She was held for court, and then she did come back yesterday inquiring about some money that she had.
Sergeant, excuse me.
Held for court, then released. Insane.
So that was here in.
I told you guys the justice system is completely infiltrated. I mean, there's no debating it. There's no debating it at this point. Okay.
Olmsted, she was arrested here on that outstanding warrant, and she came back here to discuss that. I mean, she's from Cleveland, is that right?
Correct. So she was arrested on Thursday at Walmart. A welfare check was done on her, and she was found to have that warrant. So she was taken into custody, and then upon her release last week, she was came back yesterday morning inquiring about some property of hers.
Exactly. Yeah. How many 911 calls were there?
That I don't know for sure.
Did any bystanders try to intervene or get involved in any way?
The incident itself happened with less than 5 seconds. So the people that were near there did react and respond, but by that time the incident itself was over, and Miss Ellis was already walking away. But I believe there were.
So that proves that she wasn't going around stabbing people. She saw this woman and her child, and she went and stabbed them.
Emergency nurse on scene there, and as well as our officers tended to him pretty quickly.
Sorry, do you know where she was walking to after the incident?
No idea.
Did she say anything during the attack or prior to?
None that was reported to us.
So she brought the weapon into Giant Eagle.
Correct.
No, this is just almost a year since there's a violent incident in Giant Eagle last June.
Mhm.
Just wondering if there's a message you have to residents or to people in Northeast Ohio right now, since this is the same store.
You know, as a 17-year member of the North Olmsted Police Department, I can attest that we do take the safety of our residents very seriously. Obviously, though, on a daily basis, we can't be everywhere and anywhere. So I would strongly encourage those that,
And the police can't do this, but the district attorneys and prosecutors can do something to prevent this, which is if the bitch violated her probation, keep her locked up. She fucked up. She has to pay the consequences. It's that simple. If she was locked up on a regular probation violation, as you know, they used to do it, then she wouldn't have been able to commit this crime.
keep your head on a swivel, pay attention to your surroundings, and if something doesn't look right, please don't hesitate to call the police department. We'll come investigate, no problem.
Any plans for heightened security at the store?
That I do not know.
Sergeant, from the time that she encountered them inside the Giant Eagle until the act happened, that was outdoors, right?
Correct.
How much time elapsed between those two moments? Can you say roughly?
I would say no more than 2 minutes.
So basically, they were walking out, she was walking in, she turns around as they're walking out, attacks them in the parking lot. Is that the scenario?
Correct. If nobody has any
Thank
further
you.
questions,
Thank
I
you all.
appreciate you guys coming. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this, sir.
So that's pretty much it, guys. Wow, what a stream. Condolences to the family. Say his name, Julian Wood. Fuck Bionca Ellis, fat ass bitch. And I think that's everything that's settled. But y'all already know what it is, man. It is the Black Gen Z Mindset, aka BGZM News 17, aka Jenquavius Jackson. And we are going to send it to Jenquavius Jackson to take us away. Guys, make sure you hit that merch store. Man, we got some merch for your ass, okay? Obviously, the Trump is a blood hoodie. Yes, it is going crazy, okay? The Trump is a blood hoodie for sure. You got to get that. That's a must cop. The Trump is a blood t-shirts. We also have Trump is a blood t-shirt with what is this? What is the backdrop again? I forgot. Like the size chart. I forgot what it was called. But yeah, we got the Trump thumbs up for Trump t-shirt. Okay. We got the Trump is a blood t-shirt with the Fulton County seal on it and the BGZM News 17 seal. That's dope, right? And yeah, we got a Trump mugshot t-shirt, obviously. Looking dope. So guys, make sure you support the channel. Cop the merch. That's probably the most impactful thing you can do if you want to support the channel is to buy the merch. I just want to see people in them t-shirts, man. I want to see people in them hoodies. I want this to be a part of your wardrobe. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Share the stream. This is a very important message. And if you aren't sharing this with your friends and family and letting them know the temperament of the community at this current point in time, then you're doing them a disservice. And you're also doing yourself a disservice because, this channel saves lives, literally. And instead of enticing violence, which a lot of hip hop artists do on this platform, instead of condoning violence, which a lot of these individuals on the pro-black side do on this platform, I condemn it totally, wholeheartedly. And I am actively doing something. They like, well, why don't you do something about it? Bitch, I am. This is it. This is all I can do. But I'm actively doing, something to rid our society, and specifically, and most importantly, rid the community of this behavior. So I appreciate everybody who joined the stream. Guys, make sure you stay safe because these super sister gremlins are on demon time. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm
getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured, but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut. All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa.
Yo!
Whoa. Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car. I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.